You could be going through a huge transition in your life where it feels like it might feel so chaotic that you have no choice but to surrender to the situation. Because that's what transformation is. I'm getting the surrender, okay? The surrender to the divine, surrender to the bigger picture. So, but a lot of times what people say is like, whenever you see a butterfly, there's a death that has to occur for that butterfly to have gotten to that place. And it's almost as if some of you guys, it's almost like you're being cracked open on an emotional level, to where if you don't, it's very similar to the air signs, if you don't surrender to the bigger picture, to the bigger outcome of what you want, this could be detrimental to you because the energy is so strong. You might be going through two different transformations, one on a physical level, but from a place of like your self-worth, like who you are, like who am I, your identity as a soul, and then one as your inner self, so like your higher self, like what do you want for your life, and then also like your 3D self, like your everyday life, your like the little things. But I really feel like this is just the current energy. So you might be feeling like shit, or you might be feeling really heavy, but this energy is transformative. So some of you guys just it might feel heavy, but it's gonna be a beautiful outcome. It's just the energy is just really heavy. We just got out of Mercury retrograde. We just got out of Pisces season, and you guys are water, so you're probably really, really feeling cracked open. Like, this is so bad that, like, even if you're not religious, or if you don't believe in a higher power or whatever, it's like you probably got more tapped into it, or you need to. Because the challenge right here, or the obstacle that you're facing, is following your passion. And you see how her eyes are closed? She's surrendering, regardless of your gender. You see how this person is with these butterflies, transforming them from the inside out? Her head's back. Surrender. There's a big need to surrender control. I just learned something the other day in one of my trainings that was saying that the only time, well, one of the 5 reasons why you can enmesh your energy in with someone else, or take on someone else's energy, or energy that doesn't serve you. And it's controlling. It's controlling, trying to control a person, trying to control a situation. This is just one of the branches that I learned that was like, when you feel like you can't avoid being caught up in someone else's drama. And this woman here, she's peaceful. It's like learning to flow. There's a need to learn to flow with the seasons, flow with the natural rhythm of things. Right now, we just entered into Virgo season, but this is a timeless reading. So whenever you see this, the fall could be very significant to some of you guys. I feel like you're going to be birthing something very significant around that time. But also, it's like there's a need to really to kind of focus on your self-worth and your sacral chakra and your solar plexus. They're right here. They're the ones that, like, for the most part, are like your creativity and your self-worth. Like, who are you? I feel like you're redefining who you are because you've been through so many changes that getting in touch with that is really, really going to help you, because the energy here is really, really heavy. It's almost like you don't know who you are. You don't recognize yourself. So you're kind of in this limbo stage, and the universe is just like, surrender. Just surrender. And surrender doesn't mean have the answers. It doesn't mean you have to meditate, but it means you need to just let go of that control. Stop trying to control people. Stop trying to control the outcome. Just allow it. If you're going to focus on anything, focus on the bigger goal, the bigger thing ahead. Because I feel like when there's resistance, you're prolonging it and you're making the process more painful, but it doesn't have to be. And then we have advice is, well, it seems like there's multiple advice, but it's to stay curious. When you're curious, it's almost like, to me, that's like sacral chakra energy. It's like there's potential for something. You're curious, you're dabbling into something, you're looking at the bigger picture. But when you're controlling, you're closed off. So there's a need to surrender through curiosity. This could be creativity. Again, there's a butterfly on this card as well. And there's a third eye. So some of you guys, I feel like might not be noticing the signs that the universe is trying to tell you. We have 777, we have 333, you might be seeing 666, 555, 444. You might be ignoring your intuition. And you guys are water signs. Like, you guys teach us. If you have water in any of your top placements, sun, moon, rising, and Venus, like, you guys are the intuitives of the bunch. You guys are the ones that like set the tone for following your intuition. This has nothing to do with being overly spiritual or overly religious. Water signs run that shit, okay? So it's almost like you're not acting in your authentic nature. Water is supposed to flow. Water naturally surrenders. This is the energy of water. Laying back and floating, taking a dip, honey. Taking a dip. So it's almost like whenever you guys, I know that it sucks because I have water in my chart too, but whenever a water sign denies their natural nature, and I think I talked about this too at the end of the year, you guys were showing up as like frozen hard. Now you guys have moved past that, but it's like, just allow yourself to just flow. You're water. You're supposed to flow. You're supposed to cry. You're supposed to release. You're supposed to. That's your nature. There's nothing wrong with that. And if there's anything that you have to do is surrender to what you thought you should have been. Just embrace yourself. So I want to see, ooh, this is heavy, y'all. In what aspect are you surrendering? What area of your life is the surrender, what the surrender is about? Thank you for showing me for the water signs, what area of their life they're surrendering. One more. Don't worry. It's okay. Everything's okay. It's always okay. Okay, so you're definitely waiting. It seems like you guys have this, almost like an impatient energy, right? Okay, so this is a general reading, so it may not resonate like 100% as one story for everyone, but you could have been involved with an air sign, which is Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Doesn't have to be. We also have fire signs on here, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. And we have all the water signs. And actually, we have everybody here. We have everybody here. But I feel like you started off as the King of Swords. The King of Swords is someone who, like, knows. This is a person who just knows. This person knows their shit. They know their worth. He knows. He's wise. He knows when he's getting intuitive messages. Like, water sign, you guys receive messages. Like I said with this card, there's like hidden messages, numbers. You guys get those messages. You guys get those signs. And you guys have the intuitive nature to naturally receive them. But it's almost as if you're blocked off, because it's like, maybe it was competition mindset. This could have been at work. I feel like you guys have been in an environment with people with this 5 of Wands that this environment changed you. So this could have been a work situation or a passion project or friendships. Something happened that took you out of your nature. Even though the King of Swords traditionally is not an emotional person, to me, I think he's showing up as wisdom with this owl here. Like, you see, there's an owl in the corner, in the bottom, and at the top on his sword, there's a messenger, the bird representing the messenger. It's like you guys were so used to being in tune with what you know and your wisdom, knowing when something doesn't feel right, knowing, you know, just being able to navigate through life. But something happened here with this 5 of Wands. The 5 signifies change, that it really took you out of your element. It put you in competition mindset, it put you in trying to compete, and it took you, fire is as far as you can get from water, okay? Like, we can deal with the other elements, but you're water. So fire is like competition, cutthroat, jealousy, like knocking someone else over to get to the top. And so as a result of that, you guys ended up being the Temperance in reverse. Now the Temperance is normally about like patience and about balance and just feeling like a water sign, feeling like a highly elevated water sign. But because it's, and this is a major arcana, because it's in reverse, you guys probably, this retrograde, and this is number 14, this could have changed you. This could have almost, this did change you. And that's so funny because I said that there was 2 butterflies signifying 2 types of change, right? And then you got the 5 of Wands and the Temperance as the 5. 14 equals 5. So 2 things changed you. It was like this competition, cutthroat energy that you were surrounded by, maybe in a professional setting. Could have been a relationship, but I'm seeing more of friendships. And then it's like with this Temperance, it's like, I just feel like you guys didn't know who you were. You didn't know how to balance, you know, your ego with your emotions, you know, your sun sign with your moon sign. You guys were like all over the place. And then it puts you into the 7 of Cups. So you might have made decisions that put you in a situation to make choices. But you see how there's a snake under one and there's all these different, so some cups might have been good, some might have been bad, but you didn't have any clarity. And this deck with the 7 of Cups, it's like, you see how there's a mist underneath these cups? Because the person doesn't know what to do. They don't know the direction. And so because you didn't know what to do, I don't feel like you did anything. I feel like you're kind of stuck because you've got this 4 of Pentacles. See how she's grabbing onto her purse? All her coins. With her eyes closed, again, surrender. So I feel like, some of you guys are in a situation where, I think this is a work situation, where you came in feeling confident, like you knew your shit, like you were wise and you knew what was going on, and then there was some kind of nasty, disgusting competition, cutthroat energy, and it threw you out of balance, and then you were like, I don't know who I am. I don't know, on an internal and an external. Internal is represented by the moon. This is the moon. And external is represented by the sun. So look, the 2 butterflies again, the sun and your moon. The moon is inside. So on an ego level, from a very basic ego level, you're like, who am I? And at an emotional level, you're like, who am I? And you had to act because you need to work or you needed to move on, and you got into this indecisive energy. And so now you're clinging on to what you have. And I think you're finally surrendering. You're finally surrendering to the divine and saying, okay, this is all I have left. What do I do now? That's what we're going to pull advice about. What is the advice for our water signs? They have been through it, and especially I think financially, it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have anything, but it means that you're at a point where you either want to walk away, you want to make the right decision, and you don't know what. So some of you guys are standing still, and some of you guys are needing to surrender. Not to make a choice right now. It's not a good time to just make a hasty decision. It's a time to go within. But let's see what the advice is for you guys with this 4 of Pentacles. And 4 is all about the need for stability too. The need for structure. Ooh, okay. Have faith in your dreams. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have balance, practicality with spirituality. Full moon in Pisces. So yeah, we just went through this. So, having faith in your dreams, and then we have follow your passion. So maybe some of you guys were doing careers that weren't in alignment with your authenticity. Because even the King of Swords is like, even though he's wise and he knows his shit, you guys would be showing up as the King of Cups, or at least the Queen of Cups, because that's your element, your water. So maybe something that you knew you were really good at and that you were really gifted in that area, it was a very heady type of position or a heady relationship. It wasn't something that you were passionate about. And it may have made you an expert. You may have made a lot of money and you had a lot of skills, but it's not who you are, because Spirit's asking you to follow your passion. And then the advice is have faith in your dreams. These are all like emotional based things. You're not the King of Swords naturally. You're the king of swords, a king of cups. So I think it's not just about holding on to what you have and like trying to make a decision about what do you do next, or the surrender. In your surrender, it's about reclaiming your authenticity. What the fuck do you like? What lights you up? We're about to be in Aries season. Now, again, this reading is timeless, so whenever you see it, you can see it in the fall, you can see it in the winter,